Donald Trump has released his latest hilarious troll post on social media, and this time Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in the firing line. Trump released an AI image of him standing on a mountaintop looking over at the country with a Canadian flag flying next to him.
The relationship between Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau has been characterized by several clashes majorly from their different leadership styles and political ideologies. Donald Trump's America First nationalism greatly differs from Justin Trudeau's progressive globalist agenda and focus on inclusivity. This great divide has caused a lot of disagreements on many issues like climate policy, immigration, and trade, which spills into public disputes like the occurrence of the G7 summit. Understanding these differences is important for examining the relationship between the United States and Canada. It points out the challenges of navigating economic and political collaboration between neighboring countries with different governance goals. These tensions shape policies and influence global alliances and regional stability. His administration withdrew from international alliances and agreements like the Paris Climate Accord and paid more attention to renegotiating trade deals that favored American industries. On the other hand, Justin Trudeau's globalist approach portrayed emphasizing international collaboration, inclusiveness, progressive values, and diversity. He has spearheaded multilateral agreements, including trade pacts like the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, which has put Canada in the limelight as one of the major countries fighting climate change. These different ideologies influence the domestic agenda of each leader. Donald Trump focused more on the regulation tax cutting and policies aimed at boosting industries like manufacturing and coal at the expense of protecting the environment. Justin Trudeau, however, paid more attention to green energy initiatives and promoting a multicultural society. Internationally, their different agendas led to clashes with Justin Trudeau, presenting Canada as an opponent to Donald Trump's policies. Justin Trudeau's stance on immigration, highlighted by his 2017 tweet where he welcomed refugees, was a huge contrast to the strict border controls and anti-immigration laws implemented by Donald Trump. Justin's open asylum policies led to a lot of migrants crossing into Canada, which became a challenge for his government. Donald Trump's policies, like the travel ban on major Muslim countries and the separation of families at the border, reflected his unwavering stance, highlighting a big contrast in how both leaders addressed immigration issues. On climate change, Justin Trudeau portrays himself as an advocate for environmental stewardship, implementing strategies to reduce carbon emissions and also carbon pricing. Meanwhile, Donald Trump cited the adverse impact on American businesses in relation to environmental protections and prioritized the development of fossil fuels. His withdrawal from the Paris Agreement showed the divide between both leaders, with Justin Trudeau framing Canada's climate policies as an economic and moral necessity against Donald Trump's decision to reject global environmental commitments. The G7 summit in 2018 marked a low point in the relationship between Canada and the United States under Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau. At the summit, Justin Trudeau criticized Donald Trump's tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel, labeling them as insulting, especially to a longtime ally. Donald Trump said nothing but called him out on Twitter, stating that he was dishonest and weak while instructing United States officials to withdraw from the joint communique agreed upon during the summit. Trade disputes also became a source of concern with Donald Trump, imposing difficult tariffs on Canadian aluminum and steel under the guise of protecting national security. Because of the incident, there was a lot of tension between Canada and the United States relations, especially in industries that relied heavily on international trade, which created an unpleasant environment for businesses and workers in both countries. In 2017, Justin Trudeau's tweet, "Welcome to Canada," became a major symbol of his stance on immigration, but he had no idea of the consequences that were to follow. It led to a huge increase in immigrants crossing into Canada, mostly through illegal entry points. Although this reinforced Canada's reputation as an inclusive nation, it faced some challenges, including housing shortage and strain on the healthcare system, which reviewed cracks in the implementation of Justin's immigration policies. Donald Trump's renegotiation of NAFTA into the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, introduced provisions that were more favorable to the United States, including changes to the automotive and dairy industries that had significant implications for Canada. During the negotiation, the imbalance in power in the trade relations between the United States and Canada and raised concerns about economic vulnerabilities under Donald Trump and his leadership were pointed out. Now that Donald Trump has been returned to power, this could bring renewed economic pressures, including the imposition of tariffs on major Canadian exports like steel and aluminum. These measures can affect manufacturing-heavy provinces like Quebec and Ontario, destabilizing the economy and straining the already complex bilateral trade. Justin Trudeau is often perceived as a counterbalance to Donald Trump and his policies. His leadership emphasizing global cooperation and inclusivity has been framed as the opponent of Donald Trump's agenda with the slogan, "America First." This has been leveraged by the Liberal Party to gain support both locally and internationally, positioning Justin Trudeau as a defender of liberal values on the global scale. However, growing grassroots sentiment in Canada calls for more pragmatic leadership, criticizing Trudeau's policies as overly idealistic and poorly executed. Critics argue that symbolic opposition to Trump is insufficient, highlighting gaps in policy outcomes such as immigration and economic resilience. This pushback signals a shift in public priorities towards results-driven governance over ideological grandstanding. Trudeau's leadership has sparked debates about Canada's sovereignty and its place on the global stage. Strained relations with Trump have amplified concerns about whether Canada can maintain its independent identity while navigating a powerful and ideologically divergent neighbor. These tensions could lead to a reevaluation of Canada's political and economic strategies to safeguard its national interests. Under a renewed Trump administration, Canada might face stricter immigration policies and heightened economic pressures. To mitigate potential challenges, Canada would need to adopt a balanced approach, asserting ideological differences while engaging in practical diplomacy to preserve vital trade and political ties. This careful navigation will be critical in shaping the future of U.S.-Canada relations.